Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And we are very excited today because today's topic is very relevant in what we do every day in and out. Here, I mean, in Queen, right? We look for opportunities, we look for career opportunities which are good for us. And for that, a lot of women have questions in terms of what is the right opportunity for me? Is this the skill sets I am required to have? Is this relevant to something that I'm really passionate about, or I do really like, or I have studied about? So we do a whole lot of career counseling as well, or we require a lot of career counseling, which is identified as the need of the hour, right? And for that, for today, we have Fatima, who's here, who's VP of Edu Milestones. Hi, Fatima, how are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much, Neha, for having me here. I'm thrilled.
Thank you so much for being here. I would love to listen and hear more in terms of your journey and your expertise in what you do, so that we can then get into more details about how our women can benefit from your experience.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. In fact, thank you everyone who's joined the session here today. And I'm grateful on a weekday you chose to spend your time here. So thank you for having and thank you for being there.
Thank you so much. If you can just tell us a little background about you, that would be great.
So, pretty much it's been over a decade into the counseling space, specifically career counseling. After post graduating with masters in counseling psychology, I chose one of the branches which I felt was very close to my heart. That's where I found, my calling. That yes, career counseling will be it, and it is something that's going to be a need of the hour, which was back until then as well, and it's going to continue in future as well. So yes, that's when and that's how I've been spending my last 10 years into digging deeper and deeper into the career counseling space, and I'm glad we've been able to touch lives in our own little capacity. So yeah, that's what we've been doing here at Edu Milestones. That's where I'm at right now.
Great. First question actually, it's about like a lot of people don't really understand the value of it, right? So, what exactly is career counseling in general? I mean, if you can just shed more light onto that.
Sure, sure. In fact, there are a lot of myths or rather misunderstanding about what career counseling truly is. Right? People just interchangeably use career counseling with a lot of other things, which career counseling is not. So, if I have to simplify it my way with the way I have learned what it is, it's a systematic process which will help you achieve clarity. At the end, that clutter, that confusion that we have in our mind, we need to clear that, right? That's when it becomes easier for you to hear yourself. So in general, we get tons of suggestions, we get tons of advices around us, right? Like, but it is the systematic process which career counselors use during career counseling, that is what makes it counseling, and that is what distinguishes itself from anyone else who is purely into giving advices or suggestions. And for example, if someone suggests you that go become a trainer, it can be a great career option, but you need to be fortunate for it to work for you. But when it is process driven and it is focused only on you, it will give you the results because it's designed in a way which will help you get results. So you don't have to be fortunate enough to experience results for yourself. It will help you with that. So the end objective of a good career counseling session should be narrowing down on career options that are suitable for you and eliminating career options that are not suitable for you. So it must be backed with very thorough analysis and reasoning. So that is what a career counselor does in a career counseling session.
So, you mentioned it, right? Like, there are a lot of people giving advice, but what is exactly the importance of career counseling? If you
So I think, Neha, we need to first understand the gravity of what makes it important, right? So, like a couple of days back, I posted on my wall along with the post of this, interview session today. The post highlighted three struggles, three career struggles. One, the struggle to find a career, like for example, students. They
Yeah.
struggle to make selections at school, at college, and going back is not easy all the time for everyone. Education is an expensive investment.
Right.
So that is one struggle, just to find a career. Second kind of struggle is to return to a career. And I think women are one of the best examples for that, because we face that big time. I faced it too, when it was time for me to return, and I was on a very small break, and that in itself took a toll on me. Imagine the longer breaks that women take, and the kind of, you need a fighter spirit to come back, honestly, because there is so much that happens, during that break. So you feel lost, you feel lonely. The third kind of struggle is for someone to grow in their career, and working professionals, both men and women, they're always juggling for opportunities that can give them a way out to grow. So while you are struggling constantly and you are trying to survive, there is a mounting pressure that is building, and there is always frustration, there is stress, there is anxiety, and it directly attacks your self-esteem. It can lower your self-confidence. It can literally crush someone's self-confidence as well. The respect that you want for yourself, or you want others to have that respect for you, all of that comes at a stake. So struggling to find a career can be a tormenting, dark phase for someone. And anyone could be affected. It could be a student, it could be a professional, it could be someone who's returning back from work or from their break, sorry. So, taking a professional help is one of the most practical and smart way to get out. That's the most smartest way out. And here you get to assess yourself, you get to understand what is suitable for you, more importantly, why it is suitable for you, and also what is not suitable for you and why it is not going to be suitable for you. And
Yes.
all this happens through the systematic process that, when we're talking about what is career counseling. So it just helps you get out of the dark, and that is pretty empowering in itself. That's why it becomes very important.
So definitely, I think every single, even though if you are looking to change your careers or all the three struggles that you mentioned, right? One should definitely seek for career counseling so that there's better clarity and better visibility in terms of growth as well. I mean, if you are stuck somewhere, it's better to have some professional advice that will help you to grow.
It's
So
a time
thanks.
saver, actually. It's a
Yeah,
time saver. Now, you can invest all your time that you have into figuring it out eventually. Some will be able to do it successfully, while others may not be able to do. So when you have help available, go avail it. As simple as that.
definitely. So we've covered, I mean, that there is importance of careers counseling. Now I think we want to address, because we provide opportunities, right? So we want to address on how can women actually pursue their career as counselors.
So I believe both men and women can become career counselors, right? Anyone who needs to become a counselor, but first needs to check their suitability to become a career counselor. That becomes very important, because it's not for everyone, and I don't think so everyone should or can become career counselors. And because career counseling is a very sensitive profile. You need to be capable of shouldering that level of responsibility on you. So you need to be very clear while you're choosing this path, because that's what you're going to help others do the same. So why not start with yourself? So even on our Edu Milestones website, when professionals they reach out to us for getting trained as career counselors, we've always encouraged them to first check their suitability. So if they're coming in from different industries, or they've had different professional experience, but now are wanting to get into career counseling, we always first encourage them to check your suitability to get into career counseling, and then we can start your training with us. So, and they can do that, they can just check their suitability on the website, and it's available for free. And that is one of the reasons it's kept free, so that a lot of filtration happens right at the start, and you are eventually contributing towards building a quality pool of professionals. Just because there is dearth does not mean you pump it with quantity. You still need quality career counselors at the end. So it's
Right.
important to check your suitability.
So what is that suitability or eligibility criteria? Are there any specific pointers that you can cover right
So there are
now?
specific questionnaires that a person runs through, and you get a systematic report based on that, which allows you to understand and identify whether this career is suitable for me or not. And if not, there have been a lot of cases where we have also encouraged the professionals to reroute and take a direction where it is going to be more suitable for them. Rather, may not be career counseling because they thought they can, but not necessarily.
Okay. So, in terms of once they seem to be eligible, right? What exactly would be their role as a career counselor? If you could just define that as a specific job description in terms of what all they need are expected to do and how much potential of earning they can do out of it.
Okay. So I think one of the pointers, as a part of your question, the previous question when you asked me about if women have to start, it's also important to understand the eligibility factor as well. Yes, checking your suitability is one of the eligibility factors at our end. That's how we do it here. But minimum graduation is definitely required, all right? And not necessarily, this is something I wanted to cover very importantly, because there is a myth that I'm not from a counseling background or a psychology background, is this the profession for me? So let me tell you, being a psychologist myself, career counseling is one such branch in psychology that embraces professionals from different backgrounds as well, right? So we have counselors who are trained and practicing from various backgrounds, like HR, coaches, educators, even professions like CA, event management, architecture, ex-military. They are well trained and they are very well doing, and they're doing very well for themselves. So while you are able to fulfill these criteria, then you just need to fulfill these two other conditions, which I personally feel is your contribution when you're starting your journey. One, you need to have that passion and that genuine interest to help someone make a career decision. You need to have that innate, because no amount of training can instill that in you, right? So that is one. Second, you need to have an open attitude to continuously keep learning. you know Face it, this industry is evolving rapidly more than before, and you will also have to evolve. So once you're able to fulfill these two conditions personally at your end, apart from crossing the other eligibility criteria, the industry is open, with its arms open, waiting to embrace you. So that's something that I wanted to cover as well, just in continuation to our last question. Your
Definitely,
question
I
was,
go
yeah,
ahead. Go ahead.
please go
No,
ahead.
I think the being take pursuing career counseling as a career, or regardless of any other, right, passion and learning, like the urge to learn, it has to be there throughout your life. I think that is one important point for any woman who's watching this. Definitely, that you must be keen to do what you are really doing, and that's why we have career counselors to figure out what we really love to do, right? So yeah, thanks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Um, yeah.
So you were
Uh,
asking on the role, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now there is an exhaustive list to that, Neha, but and I can talk about it for hours on that. But in lieu of time, what I'll do is I'll simplify it and break it into three major responsibilities of what a career counselor has to offer, or what is it that the career counselor does when they have to deliver a session, all right, or when they have to deliver their responsibilities. The first and the foremost thing that a career counselor would be doing, now whether you are being on either side of the table, right? This is a generic process. Of course there can be improvisations to it, but the first and the foremost thing that needs to happen by a career counselor in the career counseling session is doing a holistic scan of the person. Now, there are a lot of things that you do in this stage, like pre counseling, to understand different dimensions about this person and bring in possible perspectives as well. You also administer psychometric assessments. All of this is to help you get the needed information. You're gathering all this information very systematically. So that's your one of the major responsibilities that you do when you have to do career counseling. Second, I think this is the crux of career counseling, that is conducting a thorough analysis based on all the inputs that you just gathered as a part of the first step, when you were doing a scanning. Here, you need to kind of, put down all of these inputs so that you are able to narrow down on career options that are suitable and eliminate career options that are not suitable. Now, one thing important to understand for everyone is career counselors don't jump into doing career counseling sessions, right? They don't deliver any impromptu sessions. Rather, they take enough time to prepare and they take enough time to do a thorough analysis before they go in for a session. All right. So it's not like someone has come to you for career counseling and now I have to think on my feet. It does not happen that way. There's a lot of work, preparation that goes in first before a career counseling session gets delivered, right? And one of the good things is a good career counselor always will be backed by a supervisor. So even as a part of our training sessions, each and every career counselor gets the backing of a dedicated supervisor till the time they are able to deliver sessions confidently and independently on their own. Max they need is 5 sessions and they're good to go and they can be on their own. So a dedicated supervisor or supervision just in general when you are a counselor in any type of counseling, not just career counseling, they always help you keep in check because there are a lot of subjective biases and perspectives and objective paralysis that can happen, and your supervisor always helps you keep in check. So that's your second stage that you do. Third, as a career counselor, you will be majorly responsible as well for designing an execution plan for your client. Now, let's suppose as a part of your scanning, as a part of your analysis, one of the options that came out suitable was architecture, for example. Now, here you also need to help your clients or students, let's say, identify what is it that they need to do next so that
Yeah.
they're able to eventually get into becoming an architect. What after 10th? What after 12th? What after graduation? Post graduation? For their career advancement, what different diplomas and certifications are going to help them further grow? What opportunities they can expect for themselves? So you are literally building a long-term clarity. It's not just a short-term clarity, it's also a long-term clarity because now for next 10, 15 years, agar I have to choose architecture, I know this is the path that I can follow. So I have more and more clarity where I'm just saving a lot of time now because I'm not constantly exploring after each and every phase. So that level of career clarity comes in when you're able to design an execution plan for your clients. And if you're feeling that oh this is going to be a lot of overwhelming work, you don't have to worry because there are a lot of research tools, search engines that are available to counselors. We also give it to our counselors, so you can spend all your time into analysis and counseling and let the other things, the technology, do the research work and get everything into one place so that you can deliver a much better quality career counseling session. So I think these are the three major responsibilities that a career counselor does: scanning, analysis, and execution plan.
Uh, Thank you for that. Actually, in terms of now to talk about skills, right? Are there any specific skills? I think we covered a little bit, but if you had to just specify like three skills that a career counselor must have, what would you say? Yeah.
A long list again, but my top three would be, as I told you, this is going to be an evolving industry, and you need to be in a position to constantly adapt yourself. One of the first skills would be you need to be able to adapt into learning at the same time unlearning as well. I think that is one of the first important things according to me. Second would be listening. Now, within the whole communication spectrum, specifically in counseling, listening takes its core. So that is, I think, the second skill that a career counselor must have. Third is you need to have the knack or you need to have the interest for being research oriented because there's going to be a lot of reading, analysis, and research that this profession will demand out of you. So if you're someone who's not research oriented, who does not like browsing or reading up stuff, then I think you might want to just pause and rethink on this decision.
So, in the audience, there are a lot of women who are looking out for opportunities, and while they are on a break, so is this something that they can restart as a career? What ways and means they can get restarted with?
Okay. Now, I feel, there's a general saying that women are naturally set to be caring, empathetic, and they're people oriented person, right? And that's why they're naturally good at managing whether home or office, because of these natural traits that they possess. So I don't see a reason why women should not make money out of skills and attributes that they naturally possess. So definitely this is something, a good option for women. And just a fact, the counseling industry is currently dominated by women, right? And even when you look at the list of all the independent career counselors that are listed on EduMilestone's portal as well, you will be amazed to see the ratio of women who are showing up there, and who are officially listed there, and also the rich, diverse backgrounds that they all come from. So definitely, this is a career option if you're a woman. There are a lot of these skill sets that you might be naturally possessing, but again, as I had emphasized earlier, please check your suitability before you step into this.
Thank you so much. I think I just have one last question. After that, we'll open it up for questions for the audience. So
Sure.
everybody who's watching, please send in questions. Whatever we have, a great opportunity to know everything about career counseling as a career. So please reach out and message us on the group. So one last question before we wrap up is,
Hmm.
if you had to just give one piece of advice in terms of the women community that we have, for them to
Mhm.
get restarted or started with a career option like counseling, what would be your advice?
I don't think so if it will come out as an advice, but you don't necessarily need to have role models. We generally, it's good to have role models, of course, and which you can use as examples. Someone that you know, or maybe someone that you don't know, but they are, an example. But it's not necessary to have a role model if you want to start a career, right? You can always be the first one to be that example. So just allow yourself, give yourself that permission to think, to act, to feel, and you will automatically realize that, okay, then it's going to be an addictive life, and then you are not going to be stoppable, and you'll find yourself in that happy space. So generally, Neha, what happens is, we always see that, just to shield ourselves, we say that, that friend is also doing, or that relative in that family, they are also doing. We just
Yeah,
kind of use that to shield ourselves, but it's not required, it's not necessary. You can always be that first example, because it's your choice. If you know you want to do it, just go ahead.
exactly. Yeah. So take that step. I guess that's what is required, definitely. So we have a couple questions. So I think Nisha is asking, can you recommend a few courses that can be taken to actually pursue this further?
Absolutely. So there are a lot of different modes of courses that are available. Now you have physical offline options, you have distance courses options, you have live online classes also available. So these are different modes in which you can learn career counseling. Now there are options where recorded trainings are also available. They are not my personal favorite, because I feel there is regular physical intervention required by the trainer, and that's required for the learning process. But let's say you have identified what is your learning style, because that's one of the very important things before you choose a course. What is your learning style? Now let's say if you're into, and if you have an objective of, let me get a degree for myself, all right, so you have options like IGNU, you have options like your LPU, that is Lovely Professional University. They'll give you a distance learning option. Now, if you want something in campus, then you have Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Youth Development, you have Bhartiyar University. And if abroad is an option, there are 10 times more options if you want to specialize yourself into career counseling.
How
There you
long
get a
are
lot of
these
specialization.
courses?
two
How
years 2 years.
2 years?
There
Okay.
are diploma available for 6 months, 9 months, if you feel that it's a degree. I'll not be able to commit to a degree, but let's at least get going with a diploma in career guidance or guidance and counseling. Then you have diploma courses also available, but again they'll be in a hybrid mode. Also, you have live online options as well. Now let's say if you don't have the time to give it for a diploma or a degree program, then you have these specialized training certifications also available, and they are accredited certifications. Like our course is also duly accredited from India and UK. So where, how you need to get trained and from where you get trained, that is going to be of paramount importance.
Definitely.
But
So
there are options.
Yeah, it would be great if you can share those links of definitely courses. Long term courses are definitely an option, but our audience, I think, would like to know more about those online courses which can be taken and pursued for in a shorter period of time. I think that's something that our audience is more looking, because they probably don't have the time to take a break for 2 years and actually go travel and take the course. So it would be great if you can share those links. Now, the one more question we have from the audience is, what is the potential of the income, right? Because that's the most important while they are pursuing the career, while they are changing their current careers. What is the potential, and how much can one grow within this career path?
A very good question, and I think one of the very valid questions that anyone should be asking themselves if they're getting into a career, not just this, any career. And if you're getting into career counseling, expect this question from each and every client of yours, right? Because
Exactly.
that's how important this question is.
Yeah.
So now what happens is there are two ways to get yourself into career counseling, all right? Let's say now you're equipped with the knowledge, with the credentials, with the tools that are required to become a career counselor. Now there are two ways that generally you can venture into. One is you can get into an employment, and if you just Google today, after the session, career counseling jobs, you can do this search on Facebook, you can do this search on LinkedIn itself, you can do this search on Facebook as well. Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, basically. You will be amazed to see the number of career options and vacancies that are available, where people are specifically, organizations are specifically looking for career counselors. All right. Now, of course, the other way is to start an independent practice or eventually start your practice on your own. So that is always the second option, which is available for everyone. From a job point of view, you have educational institutions, you have learning academies, you have schools, universities, you have the edtech industry, which is so huge. They all need career counselor, and I'm not just talking about India. This is a global need. So when we started our expansion, and we started building our footprints, we realized that the need for career counseling and the dearth of career counselors, they both are a global issue. So your opportunities are just wherever you are, you will have an opportunity around you. And when it comes to income, if you're looking at it from a job perspective, you can look at a start from anywhere between 25 to 30,000, right? When you're starting off as a career counselor, and it can go as high as 80, 90, a lakh, and more than that as well, depending on which space you're working in and your number of experience, years of experience. However, if you are wanting to venture as an entrepreneur, or you want to venture as a freelancer, that let me do this in my own space, let me do it in my own time, our counselors generally charge anywhere between 3 to 5,000 rupees per career counseling session. This is for students. They charge a little higher and differently because of the work and approach required is different. They charge higher for professionals as well. That's anywhere between 4 to 7,000. So just multiply the fee that you think you will be charging. I've already given you a range as reference, and multiply that into number of counseling sessions you think you will be able to handle. Now, generally, when career counselors start, I'm just giving you a very conservative number. It is, around 2 sessions or 2 clients a week. So that's around 8 to 10 clients a month. So just multiply these two figures. Let's say you want to charge an average minimum of 3,000 per client, and you're doing an average minimum of 10 counselings a month. So that's 30,000, which you will be able to generate within your sole individual capacity and at your minimum.
And at the
When
hours, I
you
mean,
grow,
it's probably just about, I mean, there has to be research and all of it at the background, but 10 hours of work, if you are spending in 10 sessions, right? I mean, that's a very lucrative amount for the amount of hours you will be spending, right?
absolutely, absolutely. And also, as you grow, you will also be able to increase your capacity into taking more number of clients within a week or within a day. So our veteran counselors, they're taking 4 sessions a day. So now you can multiply.
Right. Wow. That sounds good. And I hope our audience can actually take advantage of this opportunity, because it's definitely something that one should look into. And I think with the courses that you recommended, if you do not have the skill sets, then definitely that will help to add on and pursue further within this career. So that brings us to the end of it. Thank you so much, Fatima. It was really great having you here, and we really look forward to have actually a deeper connect association with you, just for our audience as well. So let's be in touch, and thank you for your time over here.
Absolutely. Let's explore that. Thank you so much for having me and everyone who was able to join in the session today. I hope this was not just informative, but it was insightful as well. So I just hope I was able to do that little justice. So thank you for
Absolutely.
joining.
Thank you. Yeah. Have a good day.
Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.